Thanks for joining us. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. Before taking off to Russia, China, and Laos for a series of multilateral summits, President Park Geun-hye made sure that the nation puts national security above all else. In forceful remarks, the president called for full defense readiness against increasing North Korea threats. We get more on that from our presidential office correspondent, Song Ji-sun.
President Park began her message by stressing the severity of North Korean threats, which have now become an imminent danger to the south. Regarding the North ballistic missile launch last week, which was an apparent protest against Seoul and Washington's joint military drill, President Park warned that the survival of the nation and the people will be at risk if Pyongyang managed to load a nuclear warhead on its ballistic missiles.
이제 북한의 핵과 미사일은 단순한 불안 요인이 아니라 우리 안보에 매우 심각한 현재의 위협이 되고 있습니다. 북한이 어떤 형태로 도발을 하든 그 시도 자체가 북한 정권의 자멸로 이어질 수 있도록 확고한 응징 태세를 유지해 주기 바랍니다.
The president's message will be reiterated to world leaders at the upcoming Eastern Economic Forum, G20, and ASEAN summits, where she'll call for stronger, coordinated international efforts to counter the unpredictable regime and see greater room for regional economic growth.
러시아 라오스 방문과 아세안 관련 정상회의에서는 극동지역 경제개발 협력 방안을 논의하고 북핵 불용과 이를 위한 안보리 결의 이행 등 국제사회의 대북 압박 동력을 강화하는 데 초점을 맞출 것입니다.
President Park also vowed to take a leading role in open trade against recent protectionism while calling for domestic unity against North Korean threats. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News.
Speaking of those threats, South Korea's Defense Minister Han Minkoo is answering questions this afternoon from lawmakers in Parliament. Regarding the North's test launch of a missile launch from a submarine last week, Minister Han said Pyongyang has made significant improvements in its missile technology, and it seems likely the regime will focus on developing that capability. He estimated the North could have it ready for military operations in the next 1 to 3 years. Minister Han assured lawmakers that South Korea's defense ministry ensures an all-out national security posture in close cooperation with its ally, the United States. Regarding the deployment of the U.S. THAAD missile defense system, he said the ministry is still undecided on an alternative location, but will try to pick the best location based on a comprehensive research. After more than a decade in limbo, a new law takes effect next week here in the nation that will put the spotlight on North Korea's human rights abuses. Our Connie Kim takes a look at the North Korea human rights law in advance.
A new law on North Korean human rights is set to go into effect next month, after 11 years of wrangling in South Korea's National Assembly. The law aims to investigate and remedy human rights abuses. The law was first submitted in 2005, but was held up in Parliament as the political parties clashed over which ministry should oversee a new reference archive on the North's human rights violations. It was finally passed back in March, giving responsibility over the archive to Seoul's Unification Ministry, which handles inter-Korean affairs. The law also provides for the establishment of a North Korean Human Rights Foundation, which would propose policies that could pressure the North to change its behavior. Also, humanitarian aid from the South Korean government will prioritize North Korean children and pregnant women. That assistance will be monitored to make sure it does not end up in the hands of Pyongyang's military or leadership. With the passing of the human rights law back in March, there is speculation that the Park Geun-hye administration may move to separate its policies on the North Korean citizens from those concerning the leadership. Some experts say the Park administration will turn up the pressure on the North even more on the basis of its human rights violations, in addition to the already strong existing sanctions. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
Turning overseas now, the mosquito-borne Zika virus is spreading at a rapid pace in Southeast Asia, with Singapore reporting a sudden outbreak in recent days that was spread locally. Woo Soo-young has the details.
Singapore has reported 41 new cases of Zika, all of them infected locally. The Singaporean health authorities made the announcement on Sunday, just a day after the city-state confirmed its first case. Those affected were residents of the city, and 36 of them, foreign construction workers, were concentrated in one particular suburban neighbourhood. None of them had recently travelled to Zika-affected areas. While authorities are taking measures to curb the further spread of the virus, they warn of a growing number of cases in nearby countries, including Cambodia, Malaysia and the Philippines. The tropical environment in the region provides a breeding ground for mosquitoes. The Zika virus is believed to cause brain deformities in newborn babies. In Thailand, the Department of Disease Control says the first half of this year saw 97 Zika cases, when it usually sees just 2 to 5 for a whole year. Oh Soo-young, ARIRANG News.
And that's all for now. Stay tuned for more top stories here on ARIRANG. Thank you for watching.